En Foque newspaper, Spanish-speaking newspaper distributed throughout Iowa, took my article that I submitted, and here it's in the September 23rd issue. Is that big enough? September 23rd. Here, can kind of see it. September 23rd issue. And almost the next to the last page. Fortunately, I had help with someone else translating it. Sobresaliendo por encima de la retórica por Dave Leach. For Dave Leach al Senado de Iowa, running for Senator of Iowa. And I'm going to give you the English translation of it here. America is kicking the roses barefoot with numerical limitations that allow only 500,000 from all over the world to come legally every year. Now, here's why. America has a wonderful constitution, laws, and freedoms of religion, speech, and opportunity through hard work. But what makes all these things practical is the quality of her people. John Adams said, "Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." A Sudanese man told me, in Sudan, a soldier who flunked out of school can humiliate a professor because he has a gun. If you criticize the government, you die. In America, that kind of behavior is in the criminal margins of society, not the mainstream. We fight evil with words and ideas, knowing them to be more effective, powerful, and permanent than bullets. Though we give up too often, too easily, saying, "It's no use talking to you, you'll never change your mind anyway." The fact is, we achieve sufficient unity to guarantee our peace, mostly by persuasion. When we impose ideas by force, our weapons are ballots and courts. We accept their verdicts because we know we can correct them more easily, comfortably, and surely by persuasion than by bullets. We are not only the best behaved people in the world, but we attract the best behaved people from around the world. Just as the righteous Levites left Israel and her 2 golden calves behind to immigrate to the more godly Judah, in 2 Chronicles 11:13-17, the cream of the world rises to America. Those who love freedoms established in the Bible, enough to first suffer years of treatment which no citizen would tolerate. That's why we're kicking the roses barefoot, to not let most of them come. If we can come up with an immigration policy that keeps out criminals and terrorists, but welcomes all who love freedom, work hard, learn English, and who will help defend America against crime and tyranny, how can that not be a good thing? This is another article I've written for En Foque, and hopefully they will be publishing it this week. Let's see, that September 23rd was the date of the last one, so the September 30th would be the issue this week. So here's the English translation of this one. We'll see if it gets in. Terry Branstad, Republican candidate for Iowa governor, would pull undocumented children from public schools if Plyler versus Doe, ruled in 1982, did not require states to let the children go to school as long as they are here. Quote, "I think the decision is bad and it should be overturned," end quote, Branstad said on Jan Michelson's July 27th WHO radio show. Well, at least Branstad acknowledged the Supreme Court's authority. Michelson has been saying for years the case has no jurisdiction over Iowa. On July 22nd, Michelson asked Republican Attorney General candidate Brenna Findley whether it does. Well, she said it does, but Michelson still sounded skeptical. Michelson's minions are even skeptical of whether all born here are legal citizens. That is, except children of foreign diplomats who are exempt from our laws. So, are they legal citizens just because the 14th Amendment, the U.S. Code, and the Supreme Court say they are? He wrestles statements by the authors of the 14th Amendment insisting citizenship by birth was not their intent, even though it has been English law for centuries. Now, for a detailed analysis of those statements, see www.saltshaker.us/Hispanic/14th Amendment jurisdiction.htm. At least there's a limit to how bad laws can be before Branstad and Michelson no longer tolerate them, but they must think immigration law is sacred by comparison, because any sympathy for its victims is met with, "It's the law, and America is under the rule of law." They say fixing our broken immigration law with a line, enabling lineless immigrants to obey the law, would only reward those terrorized by it. Uncle Sam must continue shooting himself in the foot, because fixing a broken law is amnesty. That's a pejorative, meaning the other guy's solution, if it makes any more sense than mine. Do they think immigration law is that wonderful? Does anyone? If you do, contact me right away. I want to submit your profile to the Guinness Book of World Records, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and America's Funniest Home Videos in order to raise money for a constitutional challenge to numerical limitations. But a few Republican leaders are doing all they can to create a line for immigrants, from President George Bush to presidential candidate John McCain, all the way down to me. Polk County's newest Republican candidate, Dave Dix, is fluent in Spanish and sympathetic to immigration issues. Polk County Republican Chairman John Bloom agrees that there ought to be a line available to immigrants. The political landscape is not so dark, but that by educating candidates, especially now, you can make the future bright for immigrants.